Hollywood has a very simple deal it offers to everyone who walks through its doors. Play by our rules. Do what we say. Stay in the box we put you in. And in return, we will make you famous. We will make you rich. We will make you a star. Most people take that deal.
But for me, playing that character was just like...
Jim Carrey looked at it, thought about it, and said no thanks. And what happened to him because of that is one of the most fascinating stories Hollywood has ever produced.
My first guest stars in the #1 selling video, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and also the star of the #1 movie in the box office in the entire world at this very moment, The Mask. Please welcome Jim Carrey!
So let's talk about it. Before Jim Carrey was the most famous rubber-faced comedian on the planet. He was just a kid from Newmarket, Canada. Humble family, stay-at-home mom, dad who gave up his dream as a saxophonist to become an accountant. Not exactly a Hollywood origin story, but things got worse before they got better. His mom developed serious health problems, and a young Jim Carrey discovered that making her laugh was the only thing that helped.
You have such an incredible talent for physical comedy. Where did that come from?
Desperation.
Desperation?
I had a sick mom, man. I wanted to make her feel better.
That is literally where the comedy came from. Not talent shows, not drama school. Desperation. Then his dad lost his job, and the family went from middle class to living in a van overnight. And instead of feeling sorry for himself,
living in a van, you know, the whole deal, and it made me mad.
It was not a happy time. I became angry.
16-year-old Jim Carrey dropped out of school to work full-time and help support his family. So, Jim starts doing stand-up comedy. His dad drives him hours to the Yuck Yuck Comedy Club for his first ever performance. And it goes terribly. Like, absolutely terribly. The crowd does not get it.
Could you imagine the Fonz hosting a cooking show? Hey, right. You take your pot and you put it on the stove like this. First you fill it with...
His impressions land with silence. He walks off stage having completely bombed in front of everyone. And here is where most people quit. Jim went home, worked on it harder, and came back. He eventually gets written up in the Toronto Star, starts getting paid to perform, builds a name for himself in Canada, then decides Canada is not enough, packs his bags, moves to Hollywood, gets a shot on The Tonight Show, and loses it because he had a bad performance at a completely different show that the producers heard about. That is Hollywood for you. You can be incredible 99 times, have one off night somewhere else, and suddenly you are out. But Jim does not quit. He says, and I love this quote, "I don't know how, but it is going to happen a different way." That is the mindset. Not devastated, not bitter, just redirected. Now here is a part of the story most people do not know. Jim Carrey auditioned for Saturday Night Live 3 times and got rejected 3 times. First time the timing was wrong. Second time the writers did not think the director would like him. Third time, mysterious reasons that nobody really explained. 3 rejections from the same show. And here's what makes Jim Carrey different from almost everyone else. Instead of trying harder to fit what SNL wanted, he stopped trying to fit it all. He realized he was spending all his energy trying to become what the industry wanted him to be. And he made a decision. I'm going to lean into exactly what I actually am. No more impressions of other people. No more trying to tell the kind of jokes they expected. Just Jim. Pure unfiltered cartoon human being Jim. And that decision changed everything. Jim lands a spot on In Living Color, Keenan Wayans' sketch comedy show that was about to become one of the biggest things on television. And Jim Carrey becomes the fan favorite immediately. His physical comedy, his facial expressions, his complete willingness to make himself look absolutely ridiculous. People had never seen anything like it. In fact, during the 1992 Super Bowl, Fox aired an episode of In Living Color during halftime, and over 20 million viewers switched channels from the Super Bowl to watch the sketch show instead.
Nice to meet you, folks! Fire Marshal Bill here.
Won't you come in?
Don't mind if I do.
Wow, a real fireman.
That's right, princess.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Fire Marshal Bill, your finger's on fire! fire.
That's nothing. I got fire so many times I can't even feel it anymore. The trick is not to panic.
20 million people chose Jim Carrey over the Super Bowl. Let that sink in. Hollywood noticed. They offered him Ace Ventura, then The Mask, then Dumb and Dumber, all in 1 year. 3 movies, all massive hits, all grossing over $100 million. Jim Carrey became the first actor in history to star in 3 movies.
First guest stars in the #1 selling video, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and also the star of the #1 movie in the box office in the entire world at this very moment, The Mask. Please welcome Jim Carrey!
All grossing over $100 million in the same year. And then Hollywood offered him $20 million for The Cable Guy.
No, I mean, you're one of the highest paid people out here. You were the first one to get a $20 million movie, right?
That's what they say.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first actor ever to be paid that much for a single film. The kid from the van was now the highest paid actor in Hollywood. But here is where it gets interesting. Because on paper, everything was perfect. Awards, box office records, $20 million paychecks. But Jim Carrey was secretly falling apart on the inside. He was taking roles he did not believe in, sticking to the comedy box Hollywood had put him in, doing what was expected instead of what he wanted. He was on Prozac, dealing with depression, going through the kind of existential crisis that happens when you achieve everything you thought you wanted, and it still does not feel like enough. Because the success was real, but the satisfaction was not, and eventually something had to give. Jim Carrey made a decision. He was going to stop playing the game entirely. No more box office chasing. No more doing what Hollywood expected.
I certainly don't want to play it safe my whole life. You know, I don't want to, I think the danger is that you start patronizing your audience. You know, you start to try to see, well, okay, well, this worked, so I better stick with this, you know, and then no growth happens at all, you know, and, you know, whether something is a success or not, you have to take the chance of, you know, losing a few people, because you do gain others.
He was going to be whoever he actually was, whatever that looked like, whether Hollywood liked it or not. And so, Jim Carrey did something that almost nobody in Hollywood does. He walked away, not dramatically, not with a big announcement. He just slowly stopped caring about the things that Hollywood told him he was supposed to care about. The awards he never got despite deserving them. The Truman Show snubbed at the Oscars completely. One of the best performances of the decade.
And the winner is Jim Carrey in The Truman Show.
The winner is Jim Carrey.
I ain't even gotta open this. Jim Carrey.
Here are the nominees for Best Actor, Motion Picture Musical, or Comedy. Jim Carrey.
And Hollywood pretended it did not exist. The box office numbers, the public image. He let all of it go and started painting, writing, saying things publicly that made people deeply uncomfortable, calling out the machinery of fame, suggesting things about Hollywood that most people in his position would never dare say out loud. Some people think he lost the plot, and honestly, I understand why. Because when you are used to seeing someone be one thing, and they suddenly become something else entirely, it is unsettling. But here's my honest take on Jim Carrey. This is a man who grew up in a van, who made his sick mother laugh because he had nothing else to offer, who got rejected by every door he tried to walk through, who built himself up from nothing entirely on his own terms. And when Hollywood finally opened its doors to him and offered him everything, he took what he wanted, left what he did not, and walked out on his own schedule. That is not someone who lost the plot. That is someone who never let anyone else write it for him. And in an industry that turns almost everyone into a puppet, eventually that is actually pretty remarkable.